Welcome to the official Barclays Premier League podcast, brought to you by Barclays.
Hello, I'm Dave Farah, and welcome to you wherever you are in the world. This week I'm joined by the former Everton and Wigan defender Matt Jackson, and together we'll take you through a full midweek set of Barclays Premier League fixtures, including another tough game for a resurgent Chelsea side, this time against Sunderland at the Stadium of Light.
We turned the corner, played a good football, we come back to play our football with good attitude, with good mentality, and it was an important step, this, and now I think that we are coming back to fight for everything.
Elsewhere, leaders Manchester United take on Aston Villa, second-placed Arsenal host Everton, and West Brom face a crucial bottom-of-the-table clash against Wigan. We'll also be hearing from David Moyes, John Terry, and from Ian Holloway. And in our Fan of the Week section, we speak to a Liverpool supporter out in Saudi Arabia. Hello and welcome to the official Barclays Premier League podcast. Welcome as well to Matt. So Matt, no weekend fixtures. It's the fourth round of the FA Cup, but a full set of midweek fixtures next Tuesday and Wednesday to look ahead to. How difficult did you find it when you were playing to balance cup runs, when you had them, with important league matches? Must have been difficult.
It is, but it does seem to have changed over the years because teams never changed. There was no squad rotation when I was playing, and we did get to the final in 95, and it was fantastic, and it was a great break from the league at that time because we were struggling in the league. So it can go both ways. Obviously now they say the intensity is greater. Players actually enjoy it because it's a break from the pressures of league football. Well,
before we start with the match previews, let's give you this week's trivia teaser. Last weekend, Dimitar Berbatov became the third player since the 1992-93 season to score 3 hat-tricks in one top-flight campaign when he netted a treble against Birmingham. We want you to tell us who the other 2 players to have achieved this feat are. As always, if you think you know the answer, log on to the Barclays Football Facebook page. Tell us what you think, and we'll read out the correct answers in next week's programme. First up this week, though, we're at Old Trafford, where the leaders Manchester United look to continue their emphatic home form against an Aston Villa side who've climbed to 13th after 2 wins in 4 days. United have won their last 8 home matches, and Tuesday night's comeback against Blackpool shows they're not going to give up their unbeaten record easily. However, as United midfielder Darren Fletcher explains, this record is not their priority.
We're trying to win the league, that's the most important thing. That's all our aim is just now, is to win the league. The unbeaten run's great, but there's still a long way to go. It's been an unpredictable league so far this season. There's still a lot of teams up near the top of the league fighting. We've still got a lot of big games. We've still got to play Chelsea twice, Arsenal, Liverpool. We've still got a lot of games to come, so we're enjoying the position where we are just now, but we know we've got to keep playing, keep the performance levels high and keep winning matches.
Now, Matt, I'm sure Sir Alex Ferguson will play this down, but potentially a big issue for him. Wayne Rooney was taken off in that game at Blackpool. United improved greatly after that, won the game. Hernandez was outstanding, scored the equaliser. So, does Rooney get dropped?
And it would be dropped. I mean, that's the thing. It's not rotation. It's not an injury. He would be dropped. It would be performance-based only. So it would be a big, big statement from Sir Alex if he does that. My thought is that he probably won't do because it is such a big statement and he certainly won't want to lose that relationship with Rooney. But it's great now that those 2 forwards know they've got Hernandez pushing them really hard.
And Ryan Giggs, of course, has been in superb form. He also helped change the game. Maybe more important, actually, when he came on against Blackpool, gave them real balance. Do you think he'll play from the start against Villa?
It's a funny one, really, because of the age he's at now, all the games that he's got. He might actually be better as an impact player, so he might be able to really significantly change games when he gets brought on. Won't have the same impact when he starts, so that's again another conundrum. I mean, he'll probably get matched up if he does play against Quaylar at right back, a centre-half playing at right back at the moment due to injuries. Maybe not one who's most comfortable against the tricks and skills that Ryan Giggs has, but I'd imagine they might stick with him as a sub and just throw him on if they're struggling.
And from a Manchester United perspective, if Rio Ferdinand is still unavailable, do you think it's Chris Smalling who continues alongside the outstanding Nemanja Vidic?
Smalling's going to be a very good player, but he's got very limited experience. But Ferdinand and Vidic good, but Vidic is the constant. He's the one that has to play every week now. He's, for me, taken over from Ferdinand in the one that they have to play every week, and he makes such a difference to that side.
Well, Villa have registered crucial back-to-back league wins, helping lift the pressure off manager Gerard Houllier. The acquisition of Darren Bent has so far paid dividends, winning goal on his debut against Manchester City, and he will be a test providing the service is right.
And it does come down to service because he's very much a box player. Watched him play the other night against Wigan, didn't really have a touch, but did fashion himself a very, very good chance early on that he'll be disappointed he didn't score from, and he's that sort of player. doesn't give you a great deal other than running off shoulders, a good pace outlet up front, but obviously he knows where the goal is, as his scoring record over the previous 5 years shows.
And another new signing we should talk about from a Villa perspective, Jean Macoun, made his debut against Wigan, looked to be getting used to the pace during that game. What does he add to Villa, do you think? A bit of solidity maybe in that midfield?
Yeah, he does. I mean, Riococa's a similar sort of player. He's got a bit more energy going forward, but Macoun's clever. I mean, it's going to take him time. The game bypassed him the other night, OK, against Wigan. It's almost the ideal debut for him, not tested greatly, but he can just sit in front of that back four and then allow the other players, and we talk about attacking threat that they've got. I mean, that's going to be great against that United back four.
Now, it was a real thriller earlier on in the season. 2-2, United coming from 2 goals down in the last 10 minutes, which rings a bell. Prediction this time round, Matt?
I think United will win. Villa not got a great record going there, and I think United will win this one 2-1.
Well, Chelsea's emphatic win at Bolton has reignited their title hopes, and on Tuesday night the 4th place side travelled to Sunderland in 6th. Chelsea scored as many goals against Bolton as they had remarkably in their 6 previous away league games combined. It was their first win on the road in 6 games. Is this the start of a Chelsea comeback, though, do you think, Matt? Can they now go on a run and challenge for the title?
They obviously can, because they've got great ability through the squad. It's unlikely, I would say, because you don't have a stuttering start to the season and then suddenly come good and be brilliant for the rest of the season. So they will still lose unexpected games or draw unexpected games. But like the best teams, you now have to have that 11 mostly going out on the pitch and filter 1 or 2 through. They've just changed the side far too many times recently.
Well, don't dare tell the Chelsea captain, John Terry, because he is one player who still believes.
At times we've shown very good form, just haven't really picked up the right result. In the past we've never given up. Man United are playing well at the moment and getting the right results. Getting a little bit of luck as well, so maybe that'll turn. We've still got to play them twice, and if we can win both of them games, we're right back in it.
Well, Didier Drogba looked back to his old self against Bolton, scored that wonderful opening goal. How do you think he'll get on against the Sunderland backline, who are pretty watertight, aren't they?
Yeah, very good. Titus Bramble is excellent now, and Steve Bruce has really found a way to get the best out of him. Probably it'll be Ferdinand alongside him. The good thing about Drogba in a team, the special thing about him, is he can hurt teams when he's playing against 2 strong centre-halves. Lots of players, they play up front on their own and they struggle, they get dominated. He can do the same, turn it round, so that'll be Bramble and Ferdinand are going to have to be at their best to keep him quiet.
Frank Lampard missed the win at Bolton. He will probably come back into the team if fit, won't he? So who does he replace, Mikel or Ramirez, who scored a goal?
It's a funny one with Ramirez because he's coming into the team, learning the game, so they don't want to leave him out and affect his confidence, but he's the new boy and Mikel's got all the experience. You would imagine that it would be Ramirez that gets left out. The one thing is you have to say, if Lampard is fit, he has to play.
Sunderland are continuing, of course, to look strong. They've won 3 of their last 4 matches. And interestingly, the departure of Darren Bent hasn't seemed to have affected them so far. Asamoah Gyan is their only fit striker. What do you make of them in forward areas? They're obviously looking for strikers maybe to bring into the club, but they seem to not miss Bent, not so far anyway.
No, but over the long term they will do. You have to have a constant goal-striking threat in a team. But Sunderland have got great resources. They've got a great pull to the club as well. And I think with the manager, the way that he can attract players to the club, they're going to be absolutely fine. They're playing great football. And I don't think they'll have any trouble attracting a top striker.
Well, Welbeck, Turner, Mailer and Fraser Campbell all out with long-term injuries. Lee Cattermole could be back for this one after missing his last 4 matches, not through suspension, but with a back injury. And Cattermole against Essien would be worth a look if it turns out to be that.
It'll be worth a look if there's a 50-50 between them, certainly. But no, 2 good players. And Cattermole needs to mature a little bit. I mean, he's captain now for Steve Bruce, but he can't be missing the amount of games that he is missing. He obviously can't help the injuries, but certainly the suspensions haven't helped him, and he needs to work on that a little bit.
Difficult conundrum to work out this, because it's a watertight defence against a pretty lively attack. It was a 3-0 home defeat for Chelsea earlier on in the season, but do you see revenge for Chelsea here at the Stadium of Light, Matt? What's your correct score prediction?
My correct score prediction is a 1-1 draw. I think actually the fact that they got humiliated there will give an edge to Chelsea, and certainly John Terry will be reminding his teammates of how they felt on that day. But Sunderland are decent and they're strong and resilient. They're on a good run themselves, and I think this will be that draw.
Well, Arsenal in 2nd place welcome 14th placed Everton to the Emirates, looking to make it 4 wins out of 5 at home. The Gunners in a rich vein of form, unbeaten in 6 and through to the League Cup final as well. You just wonder if those home points thrown away might be what costs them the title. But Wenger seems to have settled on the front 4 of Van Persie, Nasri, Fabregas and Walcott. And Everton have got their hands full containing them. One of the games that maybe makes you happy you retired.
Well, certainly from that point of view. I mean, I have had the run around from Arsenal attacking formations in the past, certainly. But Everton are decent at the back. They've got good pace themselves. Heitinger's in there. And Leighton Baines at left-back, he's going to have a real job on against Walcott. But he's an experienced player now. He knows the game. Distan's been decent, in good form as well. So Everton's problems aren't particularly defensively, but this is going to be a big test for them.
Well, Van Persie in particular has made a huge difference, hasn't he, since he's returned from injury. And he looks the player he was now. He looks fully fit. Incredible form at the moment. 5 goals in his last 2 league matches. What does he add to our